Yo, 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 it's your homeboy, Dog Science. Today, we're doing something a little different. Um, Genetics is one of my favorite topics, as we can see here. We're going to be diving into genetics, a bit of genetics. Yeah, genetics is literally one of my favorite subjects, if not the favorite in biology. So today, what we're going to do we're going to be having a look at phenotypes and genotypes. Basically, what that means is we're going to be having a look at phenotypes, meaning how a gene expresses itself. Basically, so like hair color, eye color, how your muscles work, how it moves. So today, we're going to be focusing solely on the looks, like what makes people's eye blue, brown hair, brown skin, what contributes to all these variations. So without further ado, what we're gonna do most of this from the top of my head. Things that I've learned during university and just my passion of learning about genes. So a lot of this is just gonna be from my head. If we get a bit stuck, we've got Google. We've got Google up here somewhere, and we'll use that for further analysis. Let's get to it. Alright, so as you can see, there's quite a few pictures that I want to dive into, but I've got one that I wanted to go into first. We will start off with eye color. Yo. So, this is a beautiful little girl here. She's really, really pretty little girl. But the thing is, I have a fake detector. When I saw this picture, first and foremost, I knew there was something odd about this picture. Like, it is possible for people with darker skin to have a mutation, like we have different eye colors. It's rare, but it's possible. But when I saw this particular picture, I knew it was fake for some reason. It just looked photoshopped, and eyes just didn't look genuine. And lo and behold, I did find such a picture. I found the original picture, which is here, a beautiful little girl. She doesn't have green eyes. She has like beautiful brown eyes. They're genes that code for beautiful brown eyes, as we can see here, and like dark brown eyes is basically eumelanin. Eumelanin is responsible for the dark pigmentation in the eyes. And in skin, we have two types of eumelanin. We've got basically, let's have a look. Let's go to dark skin gang. Dark skin gang. So here's a beautiful couple. Well, they look like a couple. Basically, eumelanin is what's responsible for the dark skin. And we've got two types of eumelanin. Eumelanin comes in two variations. You've got dark brown, you've got basically black, and you've got brown. In our skin color, in both these skin color, you've got a high concentration of both, of brown and black. That's what makes the color brown here. In this guy's beard game, and this girl's, if it's not her weave, it's basically eumelanin that makes, this is the black eumelanin that makes the black hair color, and that's basically what's responsible for hair color. And when we look at because sometimes I used to have a question, like what makes like light skinned people, like what makes the difference, because we're black, right? But what makes the different shades? Like what contributes to that factor? Like I said before, we've got two types of eumelanin. We've got dark. Let's see if I can find it. We've got black and brown. So you've got black and brown. These are the two variations of eumelanin. this girl here in the middle, she has a lot more brown eumelanin and less black eumelanin. So she has a lot of brown eumelanin, but very few black eumelanin. And this girl on the far left, she has a little bit more black eumelanin than the one in the middle, but she has a lot more brown eumelanin. The girl here on the far right, she has a lot more black eumelanin in her skin, as well as brown eumelanin, which makes the skin color darker. So light skinned people, what makes them light skinned is having less black eumelanin but a lot more brown eumelanin, and that's what basically makes skin color dark. Those are what makes up dark skin color. But yeah, so that's that. We're going to be going very interesting in we're going to get very interesting in some pictures below. Okay, as we can see here, we've got a beautiful fair lady. What makes, like, why is her skin color light and why is her hair like pretty blonde? Pretty sure she kind of bleached it a little bit, so like, you can tell some enhancements. Basically, the reason why Caucasian people have fairer skin is because eumelanin is inhibited in the skin production. So when the skin cells that produce pigmentation is inhibited, so it doesn't produce that much eumelanin. They still do have Caucasian people that still do have eumelanin, but it's just very, very small amounts, and that's why they can still get if you've got lighter skin, Caucasian skin, you can still get tan because you still have eumelanin in your skin. It's just not that much, and that's the same reason why the hair color is lighter as well. Hair color and skin color, they use the same, very similar amounts of the same pigmentation, but they work differently. That's why you can have someone that is light skinned with dark hair, light skinned with really light hair. They use the same pigmentation, but different, but it's expressed differently. It's governed differently, basically. So what makes the blonde hair blonde is an inhibiting of eumelanin as well, the same as the skin color. So eumelanin is being inhibited. So when less amounts of eumelanin is being produced, then it produces beautiful blonde hair. Okay. Alright, as we are on the blonde people, we've got a young girl that has freckles. Why does she have freckles? What's going on here? The freckles in this blonde woman is basically concentration of eumelanin. It's just basic concentration of eumelanin. It's not spread out. It's not spread out all evenly, just dotted around. So theoretically, these spots can absorb UV rays and protect the DNA in those regions, but not that much. So basically, yeah, it's just eumelanin concentrated. But let's get a bit interesting now. Let's go a bit interesting. What am I even saying? Oh yeah, this picture fascinated me. Guess what? This is a picture of the first of a British person. Like what it says down here, researchers have puts a face on one of the oldest modern humans in England. The 10,000-year-old Cheddar Man, Cheddar, 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 Cheddar Man from Goth's Cave in Cheddar George. I'm not even saying that right. What the hell? And they reveal he had blue eyes and dark skin and hair. So this is what the modern British person, English person looked 10,000 years ago. Doesn't even feel or sound that long, but that's crazy. You can see he has dark skin, blue eyes. We'll talk about the eye color soon. And afro-y hair. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. How does that happen? We will get to that. How did that get from that? From this phenotype to this phenotype. Talk about that a bit more later. Okay. We're getting interesting now. Okay. We've got a cool young chap here. And he has something called vitiligo. Vitiligo is not a disease. It's not contagious. It's nothing like that. It's not a disease. It's not contagious. It's not even a defect. Depending on where you are growing up. Like if this person was living in like really hot tropical environment, this part of his face may get a bit of sunburn. But it's a unique look. It's not something that is bad, not anything. It's something that makes him a lot more unique. Makes him unique. What is happening here basically? If we look at this area here, we can see that the eumelanin, as you can see, is predominant across his body, is being inhibited around this area. Even his eyelashes, the eumelanin is being inhibited. Basically, the genes that code for this, the code for producing eumelanin in this area, there is a mutation. I'm not 100% sure if vitiligo is a mutation. Let's have a look. I am pretty sure it is a mutation. I'm pretty sure it is a mutation, but let's clarify. Vitiligo causes. Okay, so let's have a look. Vitiligo, a common cause of loss of skin pigment. Vitiligo is caused by a loss of pigment in the skin. Yes, I knew that. Due to destruction of pigment-forming cells known as melanocytes. Although vitiligo affects all races equally, yeah, it's true. I've got some pictures there too. It is more noticeable in dark-skinned people. Yeah, because it is more noticeable. Two different colors. Vitiligo can cause cosmetic problems. No, I want to know what causes it on a genetic level. Vitiligo, is it a mutation? Mutation in human CD117 to be a candidate gene for vitiligo, but more studies are needed to find its exact association to vitiligo onset. I get it. So it's not fully 100% understood what actually causes vitiligo, but yeah, it's assumed that there's a mutation of this gene, CD117. That's interesting. Yeah, I thought as much, that is a mutation, but this mutation means, sorry about that, camera went out. Okay, so you can definitely see around here It's a mutation that has occurred with genes that is associated with the face and obviously skin cells and the pigmentation of the skin cells. But yeah, like I said, it's not a disease. It's just a mutation, so it's not contagious or anything like that. It's like a birthmark basically, but a really big one. So it's just something that's unique to an individual. But yeah, so a lot of people, it does occur quite a lot. Well, it's quite rare, but it occurs in every ethnicity. I think there's another picture. Yeah, as you can see here, this gentleman has vitiligo pretty much throughout his whole body. So it's just literally the eumelanin pigmentation being inhibited in those areas of which you can see, and it starts to spread. So it's like the genes start to switch off. They just start to switch off. Nobody really knows exactly why, but as we read, I think I closed it down. But yeah, so it's the genes literally just being inhibited and it's just spreading throughout the body. So the genes are just like stopping eumelanin pigmentation. And when there's no melanin or eumelanin, the skin literally goes white because there's nothing there. And the hair also follows that as well. But yeah, right. But that's a few people with vitiligo. This kid here has vitiligo. That's on his hair and his forehead. It can potentially spread, but some people can have vitiligo and it doesn't spread. The spreading behavior is quite strange. But yeah, it's not a disease. It's just like a unique. It can be a very own unique look, really. Okay, now let's move on. So this cool guy has what we call, what makes his skin so white, so white. He's African. You can see he's probably from African descent, but he has very very pale skin and pale hair. You can definitely tell that his hair is afro. Basically, this is albinism. Yeah, it's albinism. Basically, what's happening is just pretty similar to vitiligo, but this is the whole body, and basically all the genes that produce pigmentation is switched off, completely switched off. Not semi, just completely switched off, which produces this color. It's only a disadvantage that, let's say you're living in Africa, you can tell that albinism can be a disadvantage to the skin because there's no skin protection, and that could be quite a bad thing in the sense that it can cause cancer. As you can see here, these are some people that have albinism, but they have, as you can see, there's some skin damage yeah, and this is definitely caused by a lot of sun exposure because there's no protection on the skin. So you've got like melanoma, which these are called. But yeah, so that's basically why. But everybody of any ethnicity can have albinism. What actually causes albinism? Can't really remember precisely, but let's have a look. Right. Okay, so what mutation causes albinism? A defect in one of the several genes that produce or distribute melanin causes albinism. The defect may result in the absence of melanin production or a reduced amount of melanin production. The defective gene passes down from both parents to the child and leads to albinism. So if it's two genes from parents. Both parents. Interesting. Can dig a bit deeper, but we'll leave it at that. There's a lot more to explore. Alright, so that's basically what causes albinism. Like I said, it's only a disadvantage. And plus they have, some people that have albinism have some eye problems as well. But it's only a disadvantage if you're in tropical, hot environments. But yeah, people with albinism probably face exactly the same problems as someone that has really pale skin and Caucasian. So yeah, it's just basically what causes Caucasian and albinism is very similar. It's just the inhibiting of the melanin production across the body. But people that are Caucasian will have some eumelanin in their skin, just depending, because some have a lot more, some have a lot less. Everybody's unique. Everybody is unique. Alright, there's some interesting ones I want to dive in. So, we've got this cool guy. He's a model. He has one blue eye and one eye that is dark brown. What is going on here? Sorry for the annoying voice. But what's going on here? He has a very rare mutation. Now we're diving into eye color now. What causes blue eyes? And where else do we find blue eyes? We've got Europeans. Well, not all Europeans. We've got majority of people that have blue eyes are Europeans. They have blue eyes. What causes blue eyes? And why does this gentleman have one eye blue and other brown? So for him specifically, he has a spot mutation. Basically, it's so rare. The same mutation that occurred within Europeans for them to have blue eyes is exactly the same that occurred with him specifically to have blue eyes. So it happened probably within his mother's womb, or it could be passed down. I'm not entirely sure, but that mutation is what caused it to have blue eyes. But what exactly is happening on a genetic level and a phenotypic level? He actually doesn't have blue eyes. Everybody that you see that has blue eyes, they actually don't have blue eyes. You're probably be like, what the hell are you talking about? It looks blue. It's not blue. It's all an illusion. I'm joking, but yeah, his eye is actually not blue. Basically, what happens, the body produces, so eumelanin isn't being produced in this part of his